Cage Warriors 200 this weekend in Ireland. It's been a while since Cage Warriors has been on now, so first card of the year. Gonna break it down, give you my quick predictions, and then show you what bet I'm looking to put on at the end. Not all the fights are on my bookies, so I won't be going into all the fights what I can't bet on. I'll give you my quick thoughts on some of them. And there's a lot of like Brazilians just being flown in to lose on this card as well, which is a shame. Seems like they're diluting Cage Warriors with this more recently. Bring back the days where it's all 50-50 fights, like prospects facing prospects. So yeah, I feel like it's going downhill a little bit. A lot of these UK promotions like FCC and stuff as well, just flying all these Brazilians into to lose pretty much, padding the records out and stuff. It's a shame, really, isn't it? But I guess if the best don't want to fight the best, that could be an issue as well. Maybe I don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, but yeah, it seems like a lot of handouts are being given lately, so it's a bit of a shame. But yeah, I'm going to give you my quick thoughts anyway and show you my bet at the end. Scrolling down, these first few fights, they're on the Betslip. A few what stand out to me. I looked into this Keith Kyo. He won the IMAFs. Looks like a decent prospect, so I expect him to win that fight. Kenny Makuana, 6-3, but the guys who he's lost against, really good. Matthew Elliott's looks alright. Ibrahimov, he's like a rising star. And yeah, this other guy who's 5-0, lost to him on Bellator. He's had some good wins as well, so I expect him to get the win there. Can't bet on it, unfortunately. Yeah. So the first fight I can bet on, which I can see, is this Andreas Binder versus Otan Jase. Probably one of the better Brazilians by the looks of it on paper on this card. But I think Andreas Binder should get the win here and beat Otan Jase. He's fought the better, tougher competition. He's 21-10, Otan, but a lot of those fights come against who in Brazil? Yeah, exactly. Nobody's. And then any time he's stepped up in competition, he's been beat. So Andreas Binder, he's had a few fights on that level, fighting championships or whatever. I think they've got a few good fighters on there, and he was the champion. So I expect him to get the win here. The next fight, Keith Kyo versus Gabriel Ramos, another random Brazilian, regen. He's going to get beat by Keith Kyo. Don't get me wrong, everyone's got a puncher's chance, and maybe I'm mistaken, and I'll hold my hands up if I am. But these Brazilians, 99% of the time, they're getting brought in to lose, and that's exactly what happens. Conor McCarthy, same thing. He should get the win there. Alexander O'Sullivan versus Scott Harvey. First decent 50-50 fight on the card. I would lean slightly to Scott Harvey. He had a good fight in his last fight against Leon Arms, and I think I backed against him in that fight. So I picked Leon Arms because decent prospect, and he won that pretty comfortably, and he looked good. He impressed me. I think he's fighting out of Fight Academy in Ireland, probably the best gym in Ireland at the minute, with the likes of like Paul Hughes and stuff like that. Though he's coming up against Alexander O'Sullivan, who's got a 4-0 record as well. But I just think Scott Harvey's a little more tested. And I think he should get the win there. Probably going to have to put it on to boost the odds, because most of the other odds are shit. So, but yeah, bit of a height disadvantage, 5'9" versus 5'6", but that could play into Scott Harvey's grappling game. I haven't seen much of Alexander O'Sullivan, so I could be wrong. But what I have seen of Scott Harvey and the guys he's beat, I think that gives him the edge on paper. So I'll probably go there. Next fight, Adam Darby versus Thiago Habib. I think Adam Darby should wipe the floor with him. He did get dropped and stopped by that Mushazani, who isn't the greatest. Got hit with a big shot, so he's susceptible. I think it was just a bit of overconfidence, that though. It was one of his earlier fights. He's probably matured a little bit now, and I think he wipes the floor with that random Brazilian regen. Same thing with Maximus Lally versus Junior. Next worthy fight of analysing a little bit is Joe Harris versus Tanio Pagliaricchio. Joe Harris, decent prospect. Lost a few fights, but against tough competition. Split decision loss against Joanny Scott, who went on to win the belt, and then had that a couple of close fights after that. So this is one of the times one of the Brazilians did come and win, and it was this Maurice. Well, let me look at his name. I don't want to butcher it too much. Marcus Vinicius Ferreira. But I remember looking at this guy's record, and he looks like legit. To be fair, yeah, he beat like a 15-7 guy on this Open Fight League, which is not in Brazil, so it's not like he was handed the win. I think I remember seeing that and thought, you know what, might be alright, this kid, and he's had a few good wins in there. And the guy he lost to, I think, was pretty good as well. Yeah, it's well 2-0. Now, so that's one of the rare times the Brazilian does come in and win. Padre Riccio, he's had some tough fights as well. Like whenever he's took a step up in competition, looks like he's struggled, and then he's ended up losing. And I feel like Harris should get it done here against Padre Riccio. So next fight we've got Leon Hill versus another Brazilian. Leon Hill should get the win there. Decent fighter, Leon Hill. I like him. I think he's good. Next fight. Now we're getting on to another, like, I think there's only 4 even fights on this card, isn't there? And this is the last 2 of them. So you got the co-main event, Dario Belandi versus Paddy McCrory. I think Paddy McCrory is the favourite in this fight, but I'm not sure if I see it that way. You know, Belandi is good. He's tried and tested. 9-1. And he's fought some good guys, like some durable guys as well. Like he's beat this Kanisauskas twice, and Kanisauskas is a good fighter, in my opinion. I think Kanisauskas is probably a little bit better than Paddy McCrory, to be honest, from what I've seen. So I think he's been overlooked here in this fight, Belandi. You've got some other good wins. Robin Roos, bit of a mixed record, but good fighter. Mick Stanton, who he probably beat him when Mick Stanton was on the best run of his career, if I remember rightly. And he's defended the belt now a couple of times. And his only loss was against Will Curry, and Will Curry, he's an athlete. He's he's good, isn't he, Will Curry? Not that Paddy McCrory isn't. I think Paddy McCrory is good, but it's a 5-round fight. I'd say Paddy McCrory is the prettier in the technique, like the stand-up, but Belandi, he's used to going these 5 rounds now, and it always ends up being these grueling fights. And I think if he beats Kanisauskas twice, I think he can beat Paddy McCrory here. So I'll probably be taking the risk on putting on Dario Belandi, even though I would not be surprised in the slightest if Paddy McCrory gets the win. He's a decent fighter, like I was saying, but I just fancy Belandi as the underdog. I think he's being overlooked. Like, he's got some good wins. His last fight on the Contender Series, McCrory, and he lost on the Ultimate Fighter to Robert Valentin before that. I don't know how much you can take away from that, because it's a bit of weird circumstance, isn't it? But then I lost to James Webb as well. And I think Belandi's better than James Webb, although James Webb's a lot bigger. I think what's he fighting at now? Heavyweight, something like that. Roided up. But yeah, I think I fancy Belandi in this fight. I think it'll be good though. Good fight, but I'm going to probably pick Belandi as the underdog. And then we've got the main event, which is Solomon Simon versus Nick Bagley. This should be a good fight, this one. Nick Bagley, he's trying to get you back, isn't he, and choke you out. That's his main game. He likes to wrestle, get you down, control you, take you back. But I think he's going to struggle against Simon here, pulling off that game plan anyway, because he's an alright striker, Simon, and he's an alright grappler as well. I can't remember which fight it was. Was it his last fight or the fight before, when he did a beautiful hook? He framed on the hand, pulled the hand down, went over the top with a hook. I think he's got better striking than Nick Bagley, to be honest. And I think his grappling's probably good enough to hang in there with him as well. He did look impressive, Nick Bagley, not in his last fight, but in the fights before that, where he got a submission over Jordy Bax and Ryan Shelley. Those 2 fights, he looked really good. Nothing special against Quenny Lopez. It was a bit of a snooze fest, wasn't it? But I can't see him having that same kind of control over Simon. So I'm probably going to lean towards Simon in that fight. Like I said, I won't be surprised if Nick Bagley gets the win, but yeah, I'm going to lean slightly to Simon. So let's have a look at what bets I'm going to put in anyway. Usually, I won't put these massive favourites on, but I'm probably going to put them on anyway, because It'd have to be something really surprising to cause the upset in most of them. I'd probably put it on to boost the odds. So Scott Harvey versus Alexander O'Sullivan, one of the more even fights on the card, but I'm going to lean to Scott Harvey, who's a favourite. Keith Cure versus Gabriel Ramos. I'm going to Keith Cure. I'm just going to put him on, screw it, just to boost the odds. Conor McCarthy, Andreas Binder, Ger Harris. That's probably one of the most close ones. So if I was going to leave any of the big odds ones off, I'd leave that one off. Leon Hill, Maximus Lally, Adam Darby, and then this is where. So you could just put them on if you wanted like a confident bet, and something bad would have to happen for that not to come in, and you could put a tenner on and get 35 back, or you can take the risk, which I'll be doing. Belandi, who's like a 2-1 underdog almost. I think that's a good price. Defending champion against Paddy McCory. I don't know if Paddy McCory's been 5 rounds yet, has he? And it's not like he's fighting a shitter. So yeah, I fancied Belandi in that one with the experience and arguably the tougher opposition he's faced in his career already. And then Solomon Simon, who's like a 1 to 2 favourite. So a tenner on that will get you 130 back. So I think that's a decent return. Plenty can go wrong in 10 fights, don't get me wrong. This is why I'm only betting for fun with these accumulators. I've been watching some other shows as well, like that MMA Attic. He has like free AI programs picking the fights and that on the UFC, and he does it better, putting on the single bets. And just watch his channel, you'll understand it a little bit more than my explanation. I'll probably butcher it, but I'm thinking of building up a bankroll and just trying to bet like that a little bit as well, like rather than just doing big accumulators for fun. Just get a bit of a bankroll and then start putting the single bets on and looking to have a little bit of a system rather than just putting these big dreamer bets on. But I'm pretty confident in this one. 10 fights though, plenty can go wrong. There's always upsets that can happen, but yeah, I fancy that. So good luck anyway. Let us know what you're putting on, and then I'll see you next time.